Well, cheers and how you do, buckaroos, and how the heck are you? I'm going to be Tom the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. As we approach the holidays, sometimes I get a little creative with cocktails, especially this time of year when I'm working on getting to, trying different things as we get to the holidays. We get to Thanksgiving, we get to Christmas, we get to all of those in between. Hell, I'll even celebrate Festivus with you. I'll celebrate Kwanzaa with friends. I'll celebrate anything, man. Somebody wants to invite me, hey, man, I'm all in on whatever your holiday is. I'll even drink some Manischewitz with my Jewish friends, man. I'm all in. Anyways, Tom, you went too far right there with the Manischewitz and the Jewish friends. Yeah, I know. I just can't help myself. Let me get things fixed here real fast, and I will get on with the video. Oops, hit the wrong button. There we go. So what I did here is I used one whiskey product to do a version of two different cocktails here. There we go. Get that fixed again. All right, we're back in business. We put that up. So I've had this product for a little while. Is Sugarland Shine. This is their Silver Cloud Tennessee Sour Mash. It's at 100 proof. So what I did is I did a version of a martini, which I drink first. I really think it needs to be drank a little colder. But the martini is rather simple, though. It is the Sugarland Shine, and in place of a dry vermouth, I used just a little bit of this Keltoy Purple Harp dessert wine, kind of changing the game a little bit. So Sláinte, as we tackle that one first. Oh, that's nice. So the second one, again, I used the same whiskey. I did a version of a white Manhattan, as you see those dark cherries on the bottom there. And what I did with this was, again, I used that about 2.5 ounces of the Sugar Shine, about 3/4 ounce of the Purple Harp from Kiltoy Winery, just north of Joplin, Missouri. And because it's a Manhattan of sorts, I used some rhubarb bitters. I added a little bit of tartness because the dessert wine's a little bit on the sweet side, so I wanted to balance that a little bit. So yeah, I tend to like to experiment with various versions of cocktails to see what works, especially as we get into the holidays. I have picked up some different bitters. I picked up some toasted almond, some cardamom. I've had plum bitters, which are very good fall bitters, as well. I had some black walnut, which is perfect for a maple Manhattan, but I use it in a lot of other things, and some cranberry. So I thought this would be perfect as we, round Thanksgiving into Christmas, the cranberry bitters. But well, I think the rhubarb would be perfect for this version of a white Manhattan. So I want to focus just on this martini, though. I do want to talk a little bit about that with you. I'm having the two cocktails, so I didn't make either of them super strong. It is 100 proof whiskey after all. But yeah, I want to use the same whiskey to do two different applications here. Similar but different. Anyways, I digress. How the heck are you? Anybody watching have any questions or comments, please feel free. I tell my friends if they like to be part of the video, let me know and I'll send the link to you. If you're going to be a decent human being and make nice comments or ask questions, ask, relevant questions, I will answer about anything. But if you're just a troll and an asset, no, I'm not going to give you a platform. I think it's taken me a long time to get to this place, but there are some folks that just want to be mean and nasty, and there's just no way to get them to change because they don't think there's anything wrong with them. They think there's something wrong with everybody else. Because every conversation they have with you is what's wrong with everybody else they know until they have a problem with you, and then you're part of that conversation with everybody else they're talking to. So I've kind of made it my mission at this point to just eliminate all those toxic individuals from my life. If you're not going to be positive about other people, then I don't want anything to do with you. If every conversation you have with me is something negative about something else, then I don't want anything to do with you. You're just an asshat, you're a troublemaker, and you're a bully, and we're done. Man, there's no reason for me to have a relationship with you. But maybe even more to the point, there's no reason for you to have any kind of a relationship with me, right? If you only have problems with me, there's no reason for you to try to contact me. There's no reason for you to watch my videos. There's no reason for you to message me. If all you have is negativity towards me, there's no reason for you to contact me at all. If you were any kind of a, I mean, if you're any kind of a decent human being, you would just move on. I don't understand those assholes that just want to be trolls. They just find a need to find something negative about everybody else. And I'm not doing it. I've just been through too much, and I'm not doing it. I'm just scrubbing all the toxic from my life. I just don't understand the need of some folks to be negative. I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's one particular person I tried to alibi for a long time, but it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I can't alibi for this person anymore. Some other people might have some positive, you know, might have a positive relationship with this individual, but every time they open their mouth, it's something negative about somebody else, and I just can't do that anymore. Ah, that is a nice martini. Yeah, I kind of forgot about this product. I bought it back in June, about mid June. So I guess this hasn't been around that long, but again, like I said earlier, I'm trying to finish off stuff rather than open anything new. So when I found this, and I said, "Oh, let's work on getting rid of it." So I decided to do two cocktails. I was thinking a martini and a Manhattan, but originally I was going to do more of a traditional Manhattan. So now I'm going to, since I've got this unaged unaged sour mash product, let's do a white martini with it. I mean, white martini, white Manhattan, rather. We'll do the martini. We'll do the martini with the thing. Anyways, I digress. Uh, so I found this. Yeah, got this backdrop going on here. I kind of like it. I mean, it's my television, so I want to be clear that I'm not really in this kind of hobbit-looking house with the fireplace. I just thought it kind of looked cool. I like the fire going on in the background. Not really this medieval looking tavern kind of place, but hey, I wouldn't mind. Wouldn't break my heart if I was there. I don't know how I would have lived through that era, to be honest with you. Maybe my mindset would have been different. So I'm a bit of a clean freak, so not being able to be clean all the time probably would have bothered. Germaphobe probably didn't do well in medieval times, I'm guessing. People really took baths. They were all over each other. I'm guessing there wasn't a whole lot of oral sex back then either, because all those parts were kind of dirty. Anyways, I don't know why I thought of that, but I just did. Yeah, I bet oral sex really wasn't much of a thing back then. Only right after, only on Saturday nights, I'm guessing.
You're obsessed.
See, I don't know if I could have handled that. On Saturday, did you clean that thing today? anyways, anyways, I digress. I didn't see you walk by the river, so I'm just wondering, how clean did you get that before I get anywhere near it? Anyway, that's why people died of venereal disease back then. People dropped dead of syphilis at 30. Yeah, because there was dirty parts everywhere. Anyway, I digress. Heard that scuttlebutt about George Washington that he went crazy, died of venereal disease. I don't know if that's true or not. I wasn't there, but I would say the likelihood is good. Anyway, let it go. It's out. Like I can't. Sometimes things just get stuck up there, and I have to work it out. I got to work it through. Uh, So let me show you this product again. This is so yeah. Typically, I was looking. If I'm having a martini, I'm typically having a dirty martini, but I want to do it a little bit different. Now, I remembered I had some of this here still, a Keltoy out of Oronogo, Missouri, just a little north of Joplin. They're just a great little winery, great products, friendly folks. So I thought, well, again, I want to kind of do two cocktails using almost the same ingredients, right? So in the case of the martini, it's just basically the Sugarland and the Keltoy, and then the olives at the bottom. But the only difference here in the white Manhattan per se, other than the cherries on the bottom, again, we got the shine, we got the Keltoy, and then to make it a Manhattan of some sort, we just added the bitters. And I added the rhubarb bitters because I wanted to kind of balance that sweetness. And I wanted to use a clear bitter because some of the bitters, they want to use my cherry bitters or my cranberry bitters because they want to use a clear bitter that the rhubarb is. The rhubarb. I've become obsessed with bitters lately. I don't know why. Last year, our friend told me about the black walnut bitter, so I had to buy them. But now, every time I see something new, I find myself compelled to pick it up. So I picked up the plum bitters, the cardamom bitter. I saw cardamom. I said, "Who would have thought of doing cardamom bitters? That's just genius." So I think during the fall and winter, that's going to be my bitter go-to is a cardamom. And then, of course, they got the black walnut that I showed you earlier in the plum. But then there's the cranberry. It's a cranberry. What says Christmas better than cranberry? So I got the cranberry. So in my head, I'm working out different versions of an old fashioned and a Manhattan with the cranberry bitters. So, but I love to use similar products whenever I can, right? Like in this case, doing two cocktails with the same main ingredient, the same whiskey, the Silver Cloud Tennessee Sour Mash at 100 proof. And again, I use the Keltoy Purple Harp in both cocktails as well. So the only real different ingredient is the rhubarb bitters in the white Manhattan, if you will. Let's finish this up and we'll get to cocktail number two. We did change up the glass a little bit. So sometimes it's all about the glass. Sometimes that's the difference in the cocktail is the glass, right? So I got this. I just think this makes a brilliant martini glass. I mean, a Manhattan glass, I meant to say. This one, I love this shape for a martini glass, though. I don't know what it really is, but I love it for a martini because it doesn't have that wide rim. But I love these for a Manhattan. I don't know what they're originally designed for, but they look like a lot of Manhattan glasses that I see at upper scale distilleries, like Tom's Town. They use a glass very similar to this. Uh, the Moonrise Hotel in St. Louis uses a glass very similar to this. Tomstown does an insane Manhattan, and the only two, I guess I should say, that I think are in that ballpark that I've had is the Moonrise does a month old Manhattan and a year old Manhattan, and those things are just insanely good. They were just incredible. However, the caveat there was that was back in 2015. So I mean, we're talking about a little, that's a while back. It's a little ways away, Tom. Yeah, it's a while back. But we had a nice. There was reasons why we were getting away in 2015. We spent a few days with some friends up in a campground area up near Hannibal, Missouri, and then we worked our way down to St. Louis to get with some other friends. We met a few other friends at Urban Chestnut Brewing Company. Uh, that was a lot of fun there too. So there were just reasons for us to be there at that time. And we were staying at the Moonrise. The Moonrise, oh god, that hotel was just insane. I mean, it's a little kitschy. It's a little kitschy. I'm not gonna lie, but it's really fun. The decor, but I mean, the month old and the year old Manhattan is just amazing. So anyway, so with this particular cocktail, the white Manhattan. So we're using again the Sugar Land Tennessee Mash, but so this product makes more sense in a Manhattan than it does a martini because it is a little bit on the sweet side. So it kind of replaces the sweet vermouth, but just so again, a white version of. And then we added the rhubarb bitters to complete the cocktail. But I did leave the dark cherries in there, as you can see. Uh, that's not bad though. It's not bad at all. As you can see, I still got a little bit left in there. I kind of forgot about some of these products. I've been keeping this in the freezer, kind of like I do the vodka, because you can freeze this product or keep it cold. 'Cause it's not going to freeze. It's not proof. It ain't going to freeze, but I like to keep it cold. So I kind of forgot it was there, but I still got this much left in it. So that's going to be. I'm going to leave it out to kind of go through that as well as I'm working through some of this other stuff. Been eliminating a lot of bottles lately until we can get to like I said, about the weekend before Thanksgiving, then I'll start opening up some other stuff because I've got some cocktail ideas in mind, but I don't want to open that stuff up yet. And the truth is, some of the stuff really needs to be drank neat too. I am dying to try some of the stuff that I haven't opened up yet, especially the American single malt whiskey has kind of become my new obsession. Because I've loved the products that I've had so far. The Rivalist from Union Horse, the Gully Town from Restless Spirits. I mean, these American versions of single malt whiskey is just brilliant in my opinion. I don't think anybody's doing a single malt whiskey better than uh, small distilleries here in the States. I really don't. I mean, these guys are doing some incredible stuff. I mean, even just those two are just wow. But I've got a couple others I want to try. I've got a switchgrass I want to try. I've got a Yellowstone American single malt I'm dying to try. So yeah, I've got a couple out there. Just that's really become my new obsession is American single malt whiskey because I love single malt whiskey, but I've always been more of a fan of of Irish single malts. There are some Scotch single malts I do enjoy, but I do prefer the Irish single malt whiskey, and I find that a lot of American single malts resemble the Irish version more so than the Scotch version. Whereas if you've had many Japanese single malts, they tend to be lighter versions of Scotch whiskey, or they tend to be more akin to Scotch whiskey than anything else. Let's put it that way. But American single malts tend to resemble more of the Irish side. Now there are some exceptions, but most of what I've had seem to really they either feel more like an Irish single malt or they feel like an entity all into their own and not like any of them. And that I love a lot too. Now, I ran into someone the other day when I mentioned American single malts. Uh, they said they weren't a fan, but they hadn't had the one I was talking about. But when I asked what you didn't like about it, they really didn't have an answer other than they just didn't like them. Well, is there a reason why? Well, no. And I think a lot of that is I think folks seem to think you have to love Scotch single malts. Anything that varies from that is different, and well, it is. But Scotch single malt doesn't have to be, the template for everybody else. In fact, I think it's the exact opposite of that. I think we have these other single malts because people have realized maybe that stuff isn't that great. We want to do something different. So I think the idea of 100% malted barley is great, but I don't like the way they're doing it. Anyway, I will probably never be allowed in Scotland, and that's okay with me. Anyways, I digress. Let me show you this product one more time here. Sugarland Shine at 100 proof. I used about 2 ounces of that. I used about, I don't know, probably 3/4 ounce of the Keltoy Purple Harp dessert. Rhubarb bitters. Oh, about four. I just kind of do this thing, but let's say 4 dashes. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom and all right, good guys. Slotchin, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.